It seems like Arda Güler has gone permanently back to the bench. And I realized it in this match because we saw before the match started, the lineup was announced. And this was the lineup. As you can see, Arda Güler was said to be in the lineup. But then Xabi Alonso changed it a few minutes later. Apparently it was a mistake. And instead, Gonzalo Garcia started. And I feel like this truly cemented to me that Güler is a bench player again. And it's not even like he has dropped completely in form. I don't think this guy has even dropped in form. But what I do think it is one thing, and it's a huge problem in his game which I'm going to mention later in this video. Because Güler didn't start this match, Gonzalo started this match, and I will say it was a good decision. Because when he came up, he was playing a bit slow in the beginning, but he overall did make an impact. And he showed that he can be good as a number 8. Because he was being played as a number 8, and he played quite good. But as I said, one issue, and this is why I think he is actually sitting on the bench again, it's because of his defensive work rate. Now, they took off Fede Valverde. Fede Valverde was insane defensively, insane in everything that he did in this match. But, most importantly, defensively, he was outstanding. He goes off due to injury, Arda Güler comes off, and immediately you notice how poor we are defensively. Because Güler was not pressing enough, he was not backtracking enough, and he has to seriously work on this. And this is also why players like Bellingham will always play ahead of him. Because I don't know if you saw it, Bellingham was very good defensively. There was one point when he ran back and made a crucial tackle. Now that's just what he does. And that is why he will always start ahead of Güler. And that is my issue with Güler. He's good in attack. He does so much good things. It's just his defense. But I won't lie to you. I did kind of laugh when I saw a clip afterwards. Barcelona just win. And Güler kicks a bottle in the air. And he slips and falls. To me, that is one of the biggest order losses I've ever seen. Matter of fact, he's been losing order. There was one time in the Atletico match, he tried to shake the ref's hand and the ref didn't even shake his hand. So, he's kind of losing order at the moment. He lost his spot in the team. And where does he move forward? Does he just win his spot back or does he leave the club? Now this brings us to a huge thing, which is this tweet that I saw. It's clearly an Arda Güler fan that's saying this, but look at what they're saying. They feel as though he would be better in another team, and maybe he doesn't even know that he's not a proper fit for Real Madrid. And I actually couldn't agree more. Güler is a talented player at the number 10 position, and he should always be playing in that position. Number 8, he is decent. Don't get me wrong, he's decent, he's not bad. He's quite good there actually, has put on some good performances there. But it's just not his best position. He can be way better. He can be far better. Whenever he's played as a 10, he performed, he cooked. Playing him as an 8, he's still good there, but it's like, you get what I'm saying. He can reach world-class levels at the number 10 position. Like we saw it at the beginning of the season when Bellingham was injured. Güler was shining. He was shining, he was performing, he was incredible. That's what I would say, incredible. And I thought this was gonna be his moment. He's finally gonna stamp himself as one of the best players in the world and stamp himself as one of the best midfielders in the world, in which you see Neymar said he's the best midfielder. I don't know about this, what Neymar's saying. I'm a Güler fan, but this is crazy what Neymar's saying. I heard some people say he did it because the guy he's talking to was wearing a Turkish flag. If that's the case, then I guess so. But either way, Güler, he was playing good up until Bellingham came back. Bellingham offers better defensive work rate, and that's why he starts. So what do I think Arda has to do in his career? I think he has to leave. That's my opinion. Either leave or go on loan to another club. The competition is insane in Real Madrid. And if he wants to become really one of the best players in the world, he has to play. He has to play more. Maybe go on loan to another club. Or maybe go permanently to another club. It doesn't have to be a big club. It can even be a small club. As long as he's shining, he can be one of those players that they're in a small club, but they are the star. They are the one that's carrying that small club. Now, he could take that route, but on a PR level, when it comes to popularity, stay at Real Madrid. When it comes to bigger opportunities, stay at Real Madrid. And that's what I think he has to do. I'm a Real Madrid fan, I'm a Güler fan, and that's what it is. I want him to stay. What would benefit his career? Leave. What would be a good thing is to stay. Done talking about Arda Güler, let's talk about Real Madrid against Barca. So, I'm not gonna lie, I don't usually watch YouTubers, I don't usually watch Real Madrid YouTubers, but because I fell asleep last night, and I didn't actually have an idea of what I'm gonna talk about in this video, I then went to go watch a few videos, and I don't think the loss was that bad. I don't think the loss was that bad. There were some that were reacting like it's the worst thing ever. Of course, losing El Clasico is bad, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like we have never lost in El Clasico, or losing to Barca is like losing to Sheriff. I'm not gonna act like that. I'm not gonna be performative, that is what I'm saying. Barcelona was a better team. Real Madrid showed signs of playing good, and I think there is a lot of positive to take from this. I would rather us lose like this with a lot of positives than to win by a fluke, because Vini Jr is back. I'm so happy, and I'm telling you, the people are gonna switch up. All the ones who were criticizing him yesterday are gonna now support him today. He was insane, and I expect this from him. Matter of fact, I think this is his best goal of his entire career. I straight up think so. This is his best goal of his career. Like, which one comes close? Maybe you guys tell me in the comment section which goal in Vini Jr.'s career do you think was his best? I think there's two goals. It's either this one against Barcelona, solo goal, runs through the entire team. Just beautiful. It's not that he just did this. It's that he did this against Barcelona. That is what impresses me the most. Now, the other goal you can look at is the 2023 goal against Man City. The one from outside the box. Now, that was a great goal, but I just think this one is just more impressive. Let's talk about the other goal scorer, Gonzalo Garcia. I was happy with that goal. He didn't have a fantastic display, but all that matters is when he scores. This was a good finish. I know it was, not a perfect finish. He knows how to score from any type of way. It can be him being held back by the defenders, and he still finds a way to score. And now we move on to Mbappé. Mbappé came back from his injury, and I'm happy to see him back. He played good in this game. He did a lot of good things when he came up. But the thing that I did not like in this match, I'm not gonna lie to you, the De Jong challenge on Mbappé, that was so dirty. And the fact that, listen, I was watching Steve McManaman. I think it's Steve McManaman, or it could be some other scouser, but this has to be the worst commentator I've ever heard. And he's a former Madrid player, but he acts like he's so against Real Madrid in every match I see him commentate. Because De Jong goes above the ball, trying to break Mbappe's legs, and McManaman in his Scouser accent is just going, I don't think that's a red card. I don't even know if I'm saying it. That's a bad impression of his accent, but he's just the whole time saying it's a yellow card. And I'm thinking, how is that a yellow card? That is a straight red. And then De Jong, he's just there like, oh, I don't even know what I did. And then we saw the camera angles, and it's shameless. Shameless that he even tried to protest it. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about is Hendrik. He scored for Lyon, and he had a good display. He had a very good display. I saw his highlights. Well, when I say good display, or very good display, I can't really say that. I didn't watch his full match. I'm just speaking on his highlights. He played good. Like, he played seriously good. He scored his first goal. I'm happy that he took this way to go on loan to Lyon, because let's be honest, if he was still at Madrid, he would have been coming up on the bench to play the last 2 minutes. But either way, that is my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I will be reading, will be responding. But if you enjoyed, Smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Peace out.